Hello and welcome to this Come to Jesus Daily Devotional. I trust you are well. Today we continue in the Gospel of Luke, exploring who Jesus is. And today I simply want to ask this question: what is the Sabbath? Let's read from Luke 6, 1-2. One Sabbath, Jesus was going through the grain fields, and his disciples began to pick some heads of grain, rub them together in their hands, and eat the kernels. Some of the Pharisees asked, "Why are you doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" This week we'll be considering what the Sabbath is and our approach to the Sabbath. Today I simply want to ask what it is. As in Jesus' day and in our text that we're looking at this week, the Sabbath continues to create division and unease maybe in our consciences sometimes. My experience is that Christian teaching and behaviour regarding the Sabbath has many varieties and approaches and inconsistencies. Some think of keeping one day in 6 as special as very important. Others have never given it much thought, although it's clearly such an important biblical institution and command. So what is the Sabbath? We read of the institution of the Sabbath in the Ten Commandments in Exodus 28-11. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labour and do all your work, but on the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male nor female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth and sea and all that's in them. But he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. The Jewish Sabbath, the 7th day, begins on Friday evening at sunset and ends on Saturday evening at sunset. So immediately we must see that even if we do keep Sunday special, as some would put it, this is a massive change from God's original command, isn't it? The word Sabbath derives from the Hebrew Shabbat and means to cease, to end, to rest. The Sabbath was patterned after God's resting after creation of the world. In the book of Genesis we read and note the word rested is Sabbath. In Genesis 2:2-3, by the 7th day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the 7th day, made it holy, because on it he rested from all his work of creation that he had done. It is to be a holy day, that is, set apart for the Lord. Yes, it's about rest, but more importantly, it's about doing and not doing the things that God commands for that day. The Sabbath was to be kept holy, that it was to be set apart from ordinary tasks in order to serve God in a more focused way. Of course, all days were to be holy, but in reference to the Sabbath, this simply meant that they were to use it as God instructed them. So in response, today I simply want us to understand that the Sabbath in the Old Testament was the 6th day and was to be used as God directed. It was a day of special devotion to rest and worship. Thus, understanding this, I'm sure we can see why these religious teachers were upset and were challenging Jesus and his disciples for what they were doing on the Sabbath. This is what's motivating them. They were driven by good motives, but they failed to listen to Jesus and so gain a better and right perspective on what it meant to obey God. Tomorrow we'll continue on this theme of the Sabbath by asking, do Christians have a Sabbath? God bless you.